It's a Football Friday here on the Taking Vegas podcast. Good to be with everyone. Bunch of free winners going off for the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and on into Sunday with the NFL Week 4. Guys, it's going to be a great podcast here. Big information available for Saturday by Richie Tulo, syndicatedplayersclub.com. But most importantly, we're going to win you guys a lot of money this weekend. That's what it's all about. And that's what we try to do. We got some free picks going on. It is Friday. Good to be with everyone. First day of October. It goes fast, man. It goes fast. I'm Chris Hodge from TakingVegas.com. I'm joined, as always, by Richie Tulo from SyndicatedPlayersClub.com. Before we get to Richie Tulo's plays for tomorrow, speak about some action for tonight. We got a big underdog tonight. There's a game we absolutely love. I was on Salisbury's show this morning down in Houston, KBME Sports Talk 790. Told those guys all about the game. Anyone who calls in right now, 888-9-WIN-NOW, 888-9-WIN-NOW. You can get that pick. You'll get a free pick on Houston and Tulsa as well. And I'm going to give you a total play on that here on the podcast. So big things lined up for Friday. I'll give you the 3 free picks I released on Salisbury show this morning. I'll also give you Sean's picks as well. We got free picks for the NFL, so keep it right here for this podcast. Like I said, we're going to have about 8 or 9 free picks for you guys for the weekend. Richie Tulo, SyndicatedPlayersClub.com. You came back with a vengeance last week. Easy winner. Now you're looking at a big game here for the weekend. And, it's so funny because it is so rare that you lose 2 games in a row. And you had lost a couple weeks ago with that under in the Seattle game. You came back with an easy winner last week. And come this weekend, you got a big play lined up at SyndicatedPlayersClub.com.
Well, let's be clear. I did apologize for losing that game. Unfortunately, in a world that isn't perfect, we try our best to be perfect, but it just doesn't pan out all the time. So all I know is this, Chris. This is the time of year, and we say it usually takes 4 to 5 weeks for the corrections to be had, and the games are going to start getting harder. So for all the novices out there who've been on Cloud 9, okay, Cloud 9 will soon become Cloud 8. Cloud 8 will soon become Cloud 4. And then Cloud 4 becomes...
Well, we just skipped over 7, 6, and 5.
Well, because Cloud 4 goes right back down to earth. So, folks, listen, all we can tell you is this. These games are impossible. The NFL stands for no friggin' logic. So, college football, there's so many games out there week in and week out. And there's one game that we'll find, especially myself, that I put people in a position to look at betting the way I look at betting, okay? I look at betting with intention. Intention is the key. For all the guys who say that betting is fun to them, well, how come you don't look with intent? Well, it's fun for me. All right, so here's what you do. Get up on Monday morning, go bust your ass, work 40 to 60 hours, and then after Friday rolls around, and you work 12 and 14-hour days and 8-hour days, and justify on Saturday morning, it's okay if I lose half of my salary this week.
I've yet to see anyone lose at anything and have fun. In anything in life. Like, if you lose, generally you're pissed off. So I don't understand. Oh, it's just a hobby for me. It's just that, man, I'm not trying to lose. Like, I'm trying to make sure I make a lot of money. If it's worth my time doing this, I'm going to win a lot of money. So you got a big play lined up for the weekend at SyndicatedPlayersClub.com.
Listen, I very rarely say I love this game. I've been all over this game all week.
Well, think of what you did last week. Oregon State plus 11. They won outright. What did they win by? 18 over USC?
That was a yawner.
That was a plus 11.
That was a yawner.
Did you give that out on the money line at all, or just plus the points?
Nah,
Just plus the points?
I didn't have that much balls. And I got balls.
Plus the points. I didn't know what you gave it out to your customer. I knew I had plus 11. I didn't have them on the money line either. But that was a great win last week. So, look. You got 3 college football games going for Friday night. 888-9-WIN-NOW is the number to call. We got free picks available for you. We have a big... I said this on the radio shows I did this morning that I can count on like one hand over the last 10 years. And this is not an exaggeration. This is literal. One hand. The amount of times we have used a top college football play on a Friday at TakingVegas.com. Like, I can't remember the last time we did it. Like, it's very rare that we come with a big college football game on a Friday. So we have one of those for tonight, and it's an underdog. So that's the hint I gave out on radio. So you guys could check it out. 888-9-WIN-NOW. You could also visit us on Instagram. Just follow us at Taking Vegas. DM us the word free, and you'll get a week's worth of free picks from the social media team. So, Richie and I got into a little bit of an argument because Richie, he tells me things, and I don't really believe that he told me it. Because what was it, 2 weeks ago we were golfing?
Mm-hmm.
And what'd you allege that you said to me? What did you say?
Well, refresh my mind.
I can't refresh it because I don't believe you said it. Because he's trying to claim that he said the Seattle Mariners were going to make it to the playoffs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
And guess what?
I don't recall.
Your beloved Yankees might have the toughest road home.
What do you mean? They got to win one game.
Yeah, Tampa don't want to beat them.
Tampa really want. They would love to knock them out.
They don't want to see those pinstripes for nothing.
They would love to knock them out.
But listen, their road is. I mean, listen, the Yankees have the what? 1-game lead right now.
No, they're up 2.
2 games, 2-game lead. But now you look at it for the last spot. You know that all 4 of these teams, it could break down that all 4 of them have the same record.
Well, that would be insanity.
Insane.
So Toronto's playing Baltimore.
Uh-huh.
You have to assume they're going to sweep them, but Baltimore just took 2 or 3 from Boston. But
okay.
you have to assume Toronto will sweep them.
Okay.
Seattle's playing the Angels. You have to assume that they'll sweep them.
Uh-huh.
The Red Sox are playing the Nationals. You've got to assume they'll sweep them.
Okay.
And the Yankees are playing the Rays, and if the Yankees were to win 1 game, I believe that's how it would play out. If the Yankees were to win 1 game, they would be tied with the Red Sox if the Red Sox won out, and the Red Sox would have home field advantage. But I think that's
well, the Red Sox, as we speak right
Seattle,
now, aren't the Red Sox and Seattle tied as we speak?
So it'd be a 3-way tie, and then Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto was on the outside looking in more so than anybody else.
Toronto needs the Yankees to lose all 3, and then Toronto has to sweep and have everyone else finish with the same record, and then I don't even know what the. I have no idea what the playoff play-in strategy would be after a 4-team tie. They were confused with a 3-team tiebreaker. Can you imagine a 4-team tiebreaker?
Just imagine what's at stake for the Yankees right now. Let's say they got swept. Let me
pull up these records. Go ahead. Give your salute. Well,
Aaron, who gets fired first? Aaron Boone or Brian Cashman?
They never fired Cashman. Can't fire Cashman.
Was he got pictures of somebody with farm animals or something? I mean, what's going on?
They're not firing Cashman. Why would they fire Cashman? He's been a great general manager for them. What did he do wrong?
Well, you don't fire the team.
Well, agreed, but you'd fire the manager. So the Yankees are at 91-68, and Seattle is 89-70 with the Red Sox. The Red Sox have the tiebreaker over both teams, and Toronto's 88-71. So Toronto needs the sweep. They need the Yankees to get swept. And then they need Boston and Seattle to win 2 out of 3, and it ends up in a 4-way tie, and then all hell breaks loose.
That would be sick.
That would be crazy. So that's the baseball scenarios. Atlanta clinched the division last night.
I mean, when you just think of, this is not like we look at an NFL season where, we're accustomed to 16 games. Granted, there'll be 1 more this year. And you have all these case scenarios where a lot of teams are tied with the same record, and then you go head-to-head and all the other nonsense that's involved. Just imagine a 162-game schedule that 4 teams could break down with the same. 4 teams. Here's the funny thing. Not one of the 4 teams is a division leader as well. That makes it even more.
It's absolutely
astronomical.
The AL was insane this year. I mean, the NL, obviously, with the Giants and the Dodgers was nuts, but by the way,
watch out for them Cardinals.
Yeah, because they're hot, but baseball's got to do something. Because there is no way that if the Dodgers win the wild card game, the Dodgers and Giants got to play each other in the first round. So we'd have the 2 best teams in baseball,
and 1 eliminated,
and would play each other in the first round. Something needs to be done. Like they need to look. Okay, who wins the wild card game? What's their record, and then reseed it. Like that's what they have to do. There's no way the Dodgers and Giants should be playing in the first round of the playoffs.
Sure, you got 2 teams that got 100 wins.
It's crazy. In the same division. They're being punished because, they won over 100 games. That's crazy. Let me get to Saturday stuff for you guys. So, like I said, I was on Salisbury show this morning down in Houston. I gave out we have our Taking Vegas Pick 6. So, my 3 games for you all you're listening there, get your pen and paper. You can rewind this and listen to it again. Notre Dame plus 1.5, Texas minus 5. And then I went over to the NFL for the Rams minus 4.5 on Sunday. So those were my 3 free picks on the Sean Salisbury show this morning down in Houston for the Taking Vegas Pick 6. Sean came with over TCU Texas. He hit that over in the Texas game last week too. I went 2-1 with the free picks last week. He went 1-2, but he hit that TCU Texas game. He has Tampa Bay -7. He has Kansas City -7. So he laid some wood, for the NFL. He figures Tampa Bay is going to blow out New England.
Well, they want to. It's a revenge game, I guess, for Brady.
I guess. Did you see what the ticket prices for that game are insane?
He wants to give. I guess they'll call it the Up Yours Belichick Bowl.
How about the highest ticket prices for any game outside of the Super Bowl? How insane is that for the New England Patriots?
Listen, those fans are accustomed to winning with Brady there, and they're going to show it. Look, I got news for you. He will not be booed in that stadium.
No shot he gets booed.
He will not be booed.
They're going to cheer him.
Yep.
And you know what? Because the NFL is actually the NFL does a lot wrong, but whoever planned this out did a great job. He's going to break the all-time passing yards record.
It's just that's amazing.
Right, but they had to take, okay, he's X amount of yards away. If he averages this, I'll have a shot to break it at Foxborough. Let's put him against them in week 4. Whoever came up with that deserves kudos. They did a good job.
And Chris, God forbid they get the snot kicked out of them in New England, they will boo at every possible opportunity for Jones. They will boo for that poor kid.
I don't think they're going to boo Mac Jones. I think they'll boo Belichick. I don't think they're going to boo Mac Jones.
They don't boo. It's very hard to boo.
It's starting to come out that kind of Belichick kind of forced them out. And I think that's what, you had Brady's trainer saying he never evolved with Tom Brady. He was treating him as like he was a 20-year-old kid when he's in his 40s. I don't think they're gonna boo the rookie, and he doesn't deserve that. They shouldn't do that. But Belichick, look, to me, you and I have had this conversation. Belichick doesn't win one without Brady, and Brady goes and gets another one.
Oh, forget it.
I don't look at Belichick the same way.
Kind of tarnishes his legacy for
100%.
sure.
100%. Interesting football games. You heard my take on what the Bears did. We did the podcast on Monday, and I was screaming that Matt Nagy's an idiot. Now the Bears are -3.5 over Detroit. I mean, if they throw this kid to the Wolves again, if they don't have a solid game plan around this kid, and they make him look that bad again, I'm telling you, I'll make a prediction right now. Chicago loses that game, okay? Matt Nagy doesn't make it back to the locker room. He gets fired on his way back to the locker room.
Maybe.
The owner calls down and fires him. If they lose this game to Detroit, who's 0-3 and just lost the game in their own Detroit Lion type of way, he will not make it back to the locker room. They'll call him in for a meeting as he's off the field and say, "Get the hell out of here."
What about the game itself? How do you look at that game? You look at it as a trap game, or
I'm not laying 3.5 with that team right now, and I'm not taking the Lions. The Lions create ways to lose. I'm off that game. I mean, look, you got any information on that game? Line move, money?
That looks like a trap game.
Yeah, there's no way I'm on that game. You want to know what looks like the trap game? You'll never get me on this team for my money. The Jets. The Jets look like a trap, right? The Titans look like a trap.
Titans look like a trap game too.
Titans -7.5, right? This is the game the Jets. I don't know. They lose like 24-20. But you'll never get me to put my money.
I think the hook on both. I think the hook on both sides, on the Bears and the Titans, makes it even look more like a trap. You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm telling you right now, you would never, ever this season get me to have my money on the New York Jets.
How many INTs does Wilson have right now?
A lot.
A lot,
7?
right? 7, yeah.
And he looks clueless. I forgot where I heard this, but it was a great line. They said, I guess that one throw he made at that combine sure was great. They fell for one. It's like a guy falling for a girl. She bangs you once and she's great, and she makes the rest of your life miserable. Like the guy fell for it. That's what I feel like the Jets with Zach Wilson. Meanwhile, you got to watch Sam Darnold have success. That's hilarious. What else we got here? This Carolina.
By the way, I was kind of impressed with Trevor Lawrence last night.
I was impressed with
him. I liked the way he went through his reads. I liked the way he looked off of wide receivers, went to his second and third.
He's going to be good. They just got to put people around.
Yeah, they got a nice running back. That kid runs hard.
Remember, Etienne is out.
Right.
So he got hurt. But I'm so sick of these college coaches. I really am. I'm sick of all of them. Even Matt Rule. I'll see if he wins in Carolina. I know. Does he?
Yeah, but you got to understand something. Matt Rule never won to the extent that Urban Meyer did.
Or Saban. I even put Saban in this because Saban didn't have success. I do not take any college coach seriously. Literally not one of them. Okay? Are they great for college? Is Saban great for college? 100%. He's better than what they have in college. But, I mean, it's so easy to coach when you have the best team constantly. But when you get into the NFL and everything's equal for the most part, salary cap, this, that, and the other, and you have to outcoach the other guy, yeah, what happens? He got outcoached last night in the second half. They went up 14-0. Cincinnati made adjustments. He got outcoached.
Well, you want to know something? I think they're in a little bit of a catch-22 right now, the NFL, simply because of the fact that now that college players are being compensated, which they never were in the past, we've seen players in the NFL who didn't get along with coaches give them the giant middle finger and walk away and basically demand a trade. But here's what's going to happen. Mark my words. I don't know if it's going to be this year or next year. There's going to be a ballyhoo recruit that comes in who's not going to get along with a coach. He's going to be getting paid. He's going to give the coach a big FU, whether it's on the sidelines or with the press. And they created another monster here.
No, it is what it is. I mean, they should be getting paid for their
I'm not saying,
likeness.
listen, Chris, I'm not saying it, but remember one thing. These are 18 and 19-year-old kids.
Right, so
I mean,
this is
their
the
thought
argument,
process are just a little different.
I agree with that, but you know how I feel about the NCAA.
No, I know.
They are a criminal organization.
I'm not arguing.
I put them literally right below the mafia. They're a criminal organization. Absolutely. To me, there are three criminal organizations in the world, right? The mafia, the NCAA, and the media. And I put them literally in that order. They're the three criminal organizations. So, I don't know. I'm glad the players are being paid. But yes, paid. But yes, that situation's eventually going to happen.
It has to.
Here's a game that is the epitome of what goes on in our country. Pittsburgh and Green Bay. 2 weeks ago, everyone was on Pittsburgh. They beat Buffalo. They look great. Look at Big Ben. They went into Buffalo and won. Green Bay lost to New Orleans. Oh, Aaron Rodgers had a terrible summer. He's a diva. This, that, and the other. 2 weeks later, everything changes. Now Big Ben can't play. Roethlisberger, he's terrible because the Steelers are 1-2. Now Aaron Rodgers is back, all world, because they're 2-1. It's so fickle, right? And it's the way our country is right now. Like it's just it changes like the wind.
Hey, listen, he looks a little bit slow.
Who?
Roethlisberger looks a little bit slow. I mean, listen, they threw 13 passes behind the line of scrimmage because they got to make him get rid of the ball as soon as possible. It doesn't look like he has.
He's the last one standing, right? It was Eli, it was Rivers, and it was him. They were in the same draft class, right? He's the last one.
He's
standing.
40 years old now.
Yeah, and Eli was gone a couple years ago. Rivers hung around, but Rivers was finished.
Listen, but maybe
those guys.
Maybe
a lot of passes,
maybe he can Maybe he can get another 2-3 years. I mean,
Roethlisberger?
Maybe.
I think he's done after this year.
Hey, listen,
I think that's it.
There's a guy back on the East Coast that takes short, choppy steps, and he's got 3 more years coming to him.
Who's that be?
Joe
Brady?
Biden.
Oh, short, choppy steps. I'm like, Brady? What the hell? Brady wants to play until he's 50. We're not making anything political, so we're not getting into that. No. All right, let me get to some free picks here. I gave you what I released on Salisbury show. For the Saturday college football show, we have Troy +7 over South Carolina. For the Sunday NFL show, we have the under in the Houston-Buffalo game. We have a big play on Carolina and Dallas as well. Call 888-9-WIN-NOW. 888-9-WIN-NOW. Got you all these free picks for the weekend. Big things going on for tonight. Richie Tulo, before we end this podcast, you got a big syndicatedplayersclub.com release going this weekend off the big win last week on Oregon State. Tell everyone out there how they can get involved.
This is a take advantage game, folks. Like I said, the corrections are done. It's time right now where it's going to get very, very hard for the people out there. And we know there's a lot of people that put a lot of work into this and try and figure these games out. Listen to me. I will take information over handicapping 99.9% of the time. And the kind of information that we're going to expose these people to, they can't get on their own. They're not going to find it on Fox News. They're not going to find it on Fox Sports or ESPN.
See where your mind is? Yeah. See where your mind is? Politics and nonsense.
No, you're just not going to find it, folks. I mean, listen, information is priceless in our world, and we got no problem sharing it with you. And I love when I can put people in a position in less than 3 and 4 weeks to have a completely different attitude towards betting. And all you got to do is give us a call. I mean, we'll put you in a position to score out this weekend.
All right, guys. 888-9-WIN-NOW is the number to call for Taking Vegas. All of our big picks for the weekend. For Richie Tulo's big play, go visit syndicatedplayersclub.com, just like it sounds. Syndicatedplayersclub.com. All the information on how to get the play is there. Enjoy your Friday, everyone. First day of October here. The weather's starting to change. It's starting to get a little frosty. A couple more weeks. The NBA comes back into the equation, so sports is kicking up. The NHL will be back. It's a fun time of the year. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday night, and we'll have the podcast, the weekend recap on Monday. Enjoy the weekend, everyone.